Aircraft turbine engine, lubrication systems. Both wet and dry sump lubrication systems are used in gas turbine engines. Wet sump engines store the lubricating oil in the engine proper, while dry sump engines utilize an external tank mounted on the engine or somewhere in the aircraft structure near the engine, similar to reciprocating piston engines mentioned earlier. Turbine engines' oil systems can also be classified as a pressure relief system that maintains a somewhat constant pressure. The full flow type of system, in which the pressure varies with engine speed, and the total loss system, used in engines that are for short duration operation, target drones, missiles, etc. The most widely used system is the pressure relief system, with the full flow used mostly on large fan-type engines. One of the main functions of the oil system in turbine engines is cooling the bearings by carrying the heat away from the bearing by circulating oil around the bearing. The exhaust turbine bearing is the most critical lubricating point in a gas turbine engine because of the high temperature normally present. In some engines, air cooling is used in addition to oil cooling the bearing, which supports the turbine. Air cooling, referred to as secondary airflow, is cooling air provided by bleed air from the early stages of the compressor. This internal airflow has many uses on the inside of the engine. It is used to cool turbine disc, vanes, and blades. Also, some turbine wheels may have bleed air flowing over the turbine disc, which reduces heat radiation to the bearing surface. Bearing cavities sometimes use compressor air to aid in cooling the turbine bearing. This bleed air is usually bled off a compressor stage at a point where air has enough pressure but has not yet become too warm. As the air is compressed, it becomes heated. The use of cooling air substantially reduces the quantity of oil necessary to provide adequate cooling of the bearings. Since cooling is a major function of the oil in turbine engines, the lubricating oil for bearing cooling normally requires an oil cooler. When one is required, usually a greater quantity of oil is necessary to provide for circulation between the cooler and engine. To ensure proper temperature, oil is routed through either air-cooled and/or fuel-cooled oil coolers. This system is used to also heat, regulate the fuel to prevent ice in the fuel.